Hello and welcome to How to Planet. This is your weekly forecast for November 10th, which is a Monday, through Saturday, November 15th. And we look at the changes of the moon. And the moon changes both nakshatras, which we refer to as stars, and also phases, which is the waxing and the waning cycle of the moon. So as it moves through the zodiac sign, it's actually passing through these 27 stars, about one every day. And it's also growing and shrinking with the waxing and waning cycles, and they change every day. And since the moon is connected to our mind and how we perceive and feel and experience each other in this life, it's really important to tap into these energies and to know where the moon is every day and these changes, as the changes of the moon and the actual moon phases and the stars is not directly correspondent to our 24-hour solar days, so they usually change at some point within our day. And again, every day is ruled by a planet. There are 7 days and 7 planets associated with these. So the sun and Sunday, the moon and Monday, Mars is Tuesday, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, Friday is Venus, and Saturday is Saturn. So we always look at those in our individual practices, but today we'll focus on the upcoming moon phases and stars. So let's begin with Monday, November 10th, and look at the moon phase and the nakshatra impacting us. So we start the 10th in the 5th waning cycle, so the moon is getting smaller each night after last week's full moon. And around 12:45 Pacific time, it transitions into the 5th waning moon. So the 4th moon's about clearing obstacles, about connecting with Ganesha to remove anything that is a burden or a hurdle or a pain in your path, and having a clear, new, obstacle-free environment to achieve your goals. Then the 5th waning moon comes in and it brings the energy of the divine feminine. And the feminine energy is action-oriented energy. It helps us create and manifest. So on the 5th moon, you want to tap into that feminine nature within you through different archetypes of the goddess, and really focus on these blessings that can help you create fun, can help you heal, can help you mature, can help you with your relationships. Whatever you need to create, the goddess can help you. Now the star or the nakshatra changes quite early. We're moving from Mrigashira, which is a very curious, gentle star, to Arudra. Arudra is the star of Shiva, one of the main archetypes from the Vedic system, and Shiva is known as the destroyer, so he comes to destroy parts of our life that are not beneficial, such as the negative parts of our ego, the Maya, that is the illusion we live in, and the karma that we carry. So Arudra is a very powerful, very destructive star, but it's all done out of compassion, and the symbology of Arudra is actually a teardrop of compassion. So you can remember this as this very intense energy comes in with Arudra. It's connected to Rahu, which is that very unconventional energy, that very expansive, energetic, wanting to explore the world energy. It's also paired with Mercury, as Arudra is a star in the sign of Gemini. So there's a lot of air, there's a lot of thinking and thought, mental process, and a lot of ability with Mercury, Mercury type things such as language, communication, understanding the intellect. Now, those are the two main forces you'll be dealing with on Monday, and so on Tuesday we shift from the 5th moon into the 6th moon, and from Arudra into Purnavasu. So the 6th moon starts on Tuesday, which is November 11th. It starts about 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the 6th moon is very powerful in that it's connected to the archetype Maruga, which is even more powerful on a Tuesday, as Maruga is connected to Tuesday. And the 6th moon is all about clearing conflicts. So it's about becoming and moving into a consciousness that is free of conflict. So becoming clear of your relationships, your money, your job, your health, your work environment, your spiritual practices, what you want in this life, and to clear away conflicts preventing you from really achieving everything you want. And Maruga is the warrior. He is the fierce warrior who carries a lance or a vel, and he comes to fight for what you believe in. So it's a very powerful, very courageous, very strong energy that can help you remove these conflicts. And on a Tuesday, it's all about taking action. So tapping into this is really powerful. And then the star changes from Arudra to Purnavasu. And Purnavasu begins about 3:30 a.m. Pacific, so it rules the majority of the day. And again, you can always check the Astroved calendar or Horror Watch. If you go to astroved.com, they have all this information for you, the actual timings. And Purnavasu is a star that comes after the big impact of Arudra, and it brings us back into the light. It helps us return to the light and brings new growth. So it's very connected to the energy of Jupiter and expansion and growing and wisdom. And it's also very connected to your home. People feel very comfortable in their homes who are connected to the star. So let Purnavasu bring you prosperity and wealth after that intense clearing of Arudra. So that takes us to Wednesday, which is November 12th, and then we move from the 6th moon to the 7th moon, and from Purnavasu into Pushya. And the 6th moon, again, was that conflict-free moon, and then the 7th moon begins about 3:45 in the afternoon. So you have about half the day in the 6th and half the day in the 7th waning moon. And the 7th moon brings in relationships and love. It's all about your connection to other people, which is great because it comes after that day of clearing your conflicts. So now you have this openness, this greater understanding for your relationships, and you can really focus in on relationships, be it with significant other, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your family, your neighbors, people you work with, or just people you interact with, just to generally have more consciousness as you're mingling and talking to people throughout the day. Then we look at the transition from Purnavasu to Pushya, and Pushya is a star that brings together the power of Jupiter and Saturn. It's ruled by Saturn, so it's very disciplined. It's where Jupiter is most powerful, so it brings us great wisdom and expansion. And it does all this in the sign of Cancer, so it's very nurturing. The star itself is represented by the udders of a cow, so it is about nourishment and taking care of one another. It's also known to be one of the more spiritual stars, so it's a really beneficial day to practice any of your spiritual techniques, your meditations, your rituals, anything that you do, maybe your yoga practice, maybe breathing practices, all really great to do on a Pushya day. Now we look at Thursday, so we're moving into November 13th, and this brings the 8th waning moon and then the star of Aslesha. And the 8th moon starts in the evening, so you'll have the 7th moon for the majority of the day, Thursday, in Pacific time, and then around 7 p.m. we begin the 8th waning moon. This is a moon all about transformation. It's a moon connected to Kalabhairava, who is the archetype of time. And he's one of the most important archetypes you can learn about because time impacts all of us. And that's why we do these videos to help people. It's about becoming aware of your time and moving through anxiety, moving through fear, moving through disappointment, and just becoming conscious of your time and how valuable it is in your life. And this is what Kalabhairava is here to teach all of us, to make the most of every minute. So he's very present on the 8th waning moon, and you can connect with him through different mantras or just by doing this action and paying attention to the time Shaktis, you're automatically connecting with the energy and the teachings of Kalabhairava. And then the transition of the star from Pushya to Aslesha happens early in the morning. It's about 5:45 a.m. We move from Pushya to Aslesha. And Aslesha is a star very, very significant in the Kundalini energy. And Kundalini energy really just means the energy moving up through your energy centers from the base of your spine to the top of your head. So most of you are familiar with chakras, and you want the energy to go up as you're moving from sort of the gross, dense existence in our human bodies up through all of these centers, aligning them and opening them. And then on the top of your head is the crown chakra, which can connect you to more of your spiritual self. So Aslesha can help you with this type of energy. It can help you become aware of this, and it can help you actually learn how to move this energy. So it's a really good day, again, for meditation. It's a good day to pay attention to that very central core of your being and focus on your spine and the energy moving up through you. And it's also a star that's really good for investigating things on a very practical level. If you need to look into things, do research, it's a good day for that. That brings us to Friday, so we're at November 14th, and the 8th waning moon carries on into the 14th until about 8:30 p.m., and then we start the 9th waning moon. And this is a moon about divine blessings. It's a very, on the scale of more spiritual and material moon phases, it leans towards the spiritual, meaning it's a very profound day to connect with your own higher self, to tap into that part of yourself that is connected to the universe and believes in these bigger principles, that you use your meditation, you use your sounds or chanting, you use, again, something like yoga or breathing, whatever works for you, to tap into that part of yourself. It's very supported on the 9th moon. And the star of this Friday is the star of Magha. So Aslesha carries us to about 11 a.m. Pacific time, and then Magha starts off the rest of the day. And this is the star of royalty. This is the throne in the sign of Leo. It's a very powerful, very authoritative star, and it teaches us and reminds us that we're all of royalty. We're all meant to be living with royalty consciousness, to be our own master and powerful self. So tapping into this really personal power on Magha is very important, and you can do a lot, create a lot through finding your own power, be it in your body, through your speech, through your body language, your own confidence. It's a day to really find that inner strength. It's also a really great day to connect with your ancestors, maybe make a prayer for those that you feel connected to still. It's always good to help you check in on a Magha day. And finally, that takes us to Saturday. So Saturday is November 15th, and the 9th moon continues most of the day. It changes very late at night to the 10th moon, Pacific Daylight Time. So again, it's a very spiritual time. You want to do things of service, you want to do things connected to your meditation and your spiritual practice. And Magha moves into Purva Falguni, which is a star about enjoying life. It's a star about connecting through relationships, about taking some time to relax because you need to rejuvenate. And Purva Falguni helps you rejuvenate so you can continue creating. And that is the star on Saturday. So that takes us through the week. Again, these are the changes of the moon and how they impact your mental perceptions, your understanding of the world, and also your emotional bodies, and how you choose to create your life. And we will be doing individual practices with the planet of the day, so you have a little practical step to remember these time Shaktis and also to connect and align your body, mind, and spirit with these higher energies. So thank you for joining, and continue to check the daily practices throughout the week. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next time.